Hello and welcome once again, folks, all friends and devotees of yoga, and all those folks, scholars, researchers, and others trying to research into Buddhism, which is actually an educational system used in ancient China and India, and not a religion, as has been misconstrued. A lot of people now imagine that Buddhism is a religion and that Buddha is a god, which is very ridiculous. It's very funny. Buddhism is not a religion and Buddha is not a god. Buddha is a doctor or a professor of knowledge. That knowledge was transmitted and has been transmitted for nearly 3,000 years. It was an educational system in China and India. Just like learning your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s, mathematics, physics, chemistry, that's not a religion. Biology, history, that's not a religion. That's an education that equips you for your work in the future, for your job in the future. I'm a computer programmer. I'm a professional software developer. So that's my profession. My profession is to write computer programs in C language, in C++, in Java, try to build and develop softwares. I'm working on several softwares right now, and that has been keeping me busy all these for quite a while. So that's my profession. I'm a professional computer programmer and software developer. That's not a religion. Computer programming is not a religion. Software development is not a religion. So one has to really be able to distinguish between what is a religion and the worship of God and commitment to God and devotion to some deity, and what is not a religion. What we need here in our societal development, accomplishments as human beings, one has to really be able to draw a line and distinguish between these things. So Buddhism was definitely not a religion, and Buddha was definitely not a god. That I can assure anybody in this discussion forum. Buddhism is not a religion. Buddha is not a god. Buddha was a professor. Buddha means doctor, professor. And he was just equipping people with, like computer. As I'm a computer programmer, I can teach you C language. I can teach you C++. I can teach you Java programming. I program in this. I'm developing softwares right now to do so many things. And as a software developer, software development is not a religion. Software engineering is not a religion. That's for advancement of society. Architecture is not a religion. Buildings, okay? Medicine, doctors who save your lives when you are sick in a hospital, that's not a religion. So we need to be able to employ our intelligence wisely and draw the line. What's a religion and what's devotion to God and who are the gods and what's not? What's for our betterment and advancement as human beings? Buddhism is not a religion. Buddhism is a discipline, just like software programming, computer programming, and software development, for the betterment and the advancement of society. Has nothing to do with God at all. It just has to do with well-being, just as architecture is the science of building and designing houses so that you can stay in your house and be comfortable. The rains won't beat you, the sun won't harm you when it shines. That's architecture. What has that to do with God? That's not a religion. That's for your comfort as a human being, to live more comfortably. So that's what Buddhism is. Now, the core of the Buddha's teaching. I'm proceeding with Master Ching Kong's findings. The Buddha's teaching, or the professor's teaching, as Buddha we now know it means professor, the Buddha's teaching contains 3 major points: discipline, meditation, and wisdom. Wisdom is the goal, and deep meditation or concentration is the crucial process toward achieving wisdom. Discipline, through observing the precepts, is the method that helps one to achieve deep meditation. Wisdom will then be realized naturally. Buddha's entire teachings, as conveyed in the sutras, never really depart from these 3 points. Buddhism encompasses the entire collection of works by Buddha Shakyamuni or Professor Shakyamuni or Dr. Shakyamuni, and it's called the Tripitaka. This can be classified into three main categories: Sutra, Vinaya, precepts or rules, and Sastra, commentaries, which emphasize meditation, discipline, and wisdom, respectively. The Buddhist educational organization in China. Before we begin this, I'll give you an idea. Can you just imagine if somebody told you, I'm sure you all, many of you folks who have been to school, high schools, colleges, universities, postgraduate studies, postdoctoral studies, many of you folks and friends, somebody came and told you that Bill Gates today is in the United States right here. It's one of us, an American like us. Bill Gates is the wealthiest man in the world. He's a computer programmer. Bill Gates is a software, giant, software architect, one of the greatest in our times. Okay, so what about $80 billion? He's the wealthiest man in the world. Suppose somebody comes and tells you that Bill Gates is a god and that computer programming is a religion. How would that sound to you? That would sort of sound ridiculous, absurd. That's exactly what Buddhism is like. See, Bill Gates he wrote programs, okay, for computers, software, Microsoft. He started Microsoft company, made money. That's what Buddha and Buddhism is exactly like when you really study it as we have. I've studied Buddhism for about 25 years. You really get to understand everything, just like programming. I've studied computer programming for about 25 years as well. I've studied computer programming since 1991. Actually, I started studying computer programming in 1988, actually, when I was still in Nigeria, when I was in the university in Nigeria. I studied Fortran, COBOL, Pascal, and Ada as a part of my engineering physics degree at University of Ife before I came to the United States. Coming to the United States, I brushed through those more or less ancient Fortran, COBOL. Nobody really uses those anymore. They are more or less outdated. Assembler language and all those basic Pascal, Ada. People now use C, C++. I had to redo my programming. I had to update to C, C++, Java. These are in use currently in the markets. You find a lot of businesses where you can work with C, C++ as a programmer. You make a lot of money. And PHP, Python, those I'm currently trying to explore as well. These are the new areas of programming that make a lot of money nowadays. So somebody tells you that that's a religion, that Bill Gates is a god. Just try to imagine it in that sense. Somebody tells you Bill Gates is a god and computer programming is a religion. How would you think about it? If you have any questions or comments, let me know. My email address is c.aburime@hotmail.com, or Color College, color spelled British, COLOUR, @hotmail.com. Send me an email and I'll look through it and give you a reply when I can. I'll be right back. Have a pleasant day.